This is the 2023 Cadillac LYRIQ, the first pure EV from Cadillac in their future lineup of EV-only vehicles. That's actually a lot of lyrics. Let's call it a choir.
But is it the Cadillac of electric vehicles? Let's take a first drive and find out.
The LYRIQ gets two options when it comes to motors.
You can get a rear-wheel drive version that gets approximately 312 miles of range, or you can get an all-wheel drive option, the range of which has yet to be determined.
The rear-wheel drive version pricing starts at just below $63,000 and gets 340 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. It's equipped with a 102 kilowatt-hour battery. The all-wheel drive LYRIQ gets that same battery, but you're looking at a $65,000 base price and 500 horses.
More motors equal more power, but you might also take a little bit of hit in the range department. We're going to have to wait and see about that.
That all-wheel drive version will tow up to 3,500 pounds, but it's not available until next year.
Charging times for the LYRIQ are pretty competitive among the same EV set. You can check out this cool graphics page next to check out what I mean.
Those times will fluctuate depending on whether you get the single or dual motor LYRIQ, and Cadillac is offering either $1,500 to install a home charger or 2 years of unlimited charging through EVgo. The LYRIQ seats 5 passengers, and yeah, thanks to no transmission tube, the middle seat back in the second row is livable. Cargo space with the rear seats up looks generous. With the second row down, you're looking at 60.8 cubic feet. That looks like station wagon territory. For the record, I love station wagons, so this is a positive thing.
I'm really comfortable up front. The coolest part about this cockpit, though, as far as I'm concerned, is this massive screen that is 33 inches of continuous LED screen. The graphics are super, super sharp. It looks really, really handsome. The only thing that I will say is, and listen, I think as we get further into all the cool tech stuff, it is a little bit layered and it takes you a little while to get to some pretty key functions.
Case in point, you can only access the one-pedal drive on-off control through a couple of layers of the UX. Engineers told me that they will be adding it to the permanent controls at the bottom of the touchscreen, but that's not until a later LYRIQ version. As for interior fit and finishes, it feels like a lot of different materials being used, and I don't think they all work together. You'll find brushed chrome and polished chrome around the touchscreen, incidentally, in a place bound to reflect the sun while you're driving. There's open pore wood, which looks great on the doors, but on the center console, it feels like inexpensive plastic, which is what these cup holder bezels are made of. The entire console doesn't look premium. And there's this blue bin that seems quite flimsy. It almost feels like there were too many ideas brought to the table, and all of them were used.
I really want to like the interior a little bit more, but I'm going to be really honest here. It's no Kia EV6. However, fit and finishes aside, let's talk about how it drives.
The ride in the LYRIQ feels composed and comfortable. The Ultium platform the LYRIQ rides on is the same as the GMC Hummer EV, but with only one layer of the batteries, so it's not hauling as much weight around. It feels stable and well-balanced thanks to a low center of gravity and takes fun turns with confidence. Overall, I really enjoyed the ride.
So, I think another question with electric vehicles is, hey, can I have a little bit of fun in them? We're going to check that out right now. I'm actually going to put this into sport mode and give it a little bit of a goose. I mean, yeah, it's got some nice acceleration. It's not Tesla territory, but you know what? It's good. Ooh.
The different drive modes, including touring, sport, and snow, affect steering feel, throttle response, and braking. It's nice to have those to customize your drive, and you definitely feel a difference in throttle response, especially in steering weight when you dig into sport mode.
One of my favorite things in here is the braking. The regenerative braking system is actually really cool. So you can shut it off completely and just go for a more natural feel. The brakes in that regard have a really nice bite right up at the top of the pedal. They don't feel super gushy. You can put it into just the regular regen mode, which works really nicely. You pull your foot up off the throttle, and you can use this paddle on the left-hand side of the steering wheel to help assist you brake a little bit more. So basically, you don't even have to hit the brake pedal at all. There is an additional setting that is a high regen setting. It's a little bit more aggressive, a little bit stronger. Again, you can use the paddle if you need to, but honestly, it's so aggressive, you probably don't even need to use it at all. So I think it's a really great system. It's the same basic system that's on the Bolt. I like how they've implemented it here and given it kind of a level up.
One negative about regen, I wish the on or mid setting was a little less aggressive than the high setting. In normal, I could pull my foot off of the throttle going down a fairly steep mountain and come to a stop fairly quickly. But that's a nitpick. Each driver is going to be able to use regen in a way most comfortable for them.
The other thing that I'm really impressed by with the driving experience is how quiet it is in this cabin. Cadillac has partnered with AKG, who's doing their audio systems, and they've got this really cool setup, at least to try and mitigate road noise. They've got sensors at all 4 tires, and those sensors pick up road noise, and they send the appropriate noise canceling frequency into the speakers and into the cabin, so it really makes for a lovely, quiet ride. They've also added a lot of extra dampening. You wouldn't think that they would have to in an EV, but since you don't have the engine making all that kind of white noise and all you really can hear is the rest of the functions of the car, it really does make a huge difference. I have been in some luxury cars where the wind noise and the road noise is absolutely extraordinary and kind of ruins the experience. Not the case here. It is a lovely place to drive.
Cadillac also teamed with Michelin to manufacture a new tread pattern on LYRIQ-specific tires that produces less drag for more efficiency. And thanks to the arrow from the roof under the spoiler, there's no need for a rear windshield wiper.
I also want to give a quick shout out to this glass roof. It's beautiful. I think when you have it open, it definitely gives a sense of openness. But unlike the Tesla, you actually can close the shade so you're not boiling hot if it's really sunny. It's a nice touch.
Some niceties that you get with your LYRIQ include an automated charge port door. This is a pre-production model, but I've seen it work on other cars. Whoops. Wireless charging, an AKG 19-speaker audio system, and Super Cruise.
Super Cruise is included in the LYRIQ as a standard feature, which I think is absolutely outstanding. Now, Super Cruise, if you don't know what that is, it is a, let's call it an advanced autonomous driving feature that's level 2 autonomy. So if you put it on and you're on one of the prescribed or pre-programmed roads that's in the system, it will read the road for you. It will actually change lanes for you, which is pretty stellar. It does it really smoothly. It's a really seamless system, and it's really terrific. So it's already set up to be used here in the LYRIQ. However, because they've literally moved the launch of this particular vehicle up by 9 months, it's not physically in here yet, so I can't test it at this time, but it will be included as an over-the-air update.
Looking at the exterior for a quick moment, there is a lot to like here. I love the profile. I think it's got a futuristic station wagon vibe and some sexy touring car features like a long dash-to-axle ratio, short overhangs, and a low roof. At some angles, it reminds me of a Citroen DS. Super sexy. The front fascia gets some snazzy lighting features. Yeah, it looks like it's smiling at you. In future LYRIQ model years, that grille will get different patterns to denote different trim levels. The rear might be the place that's polarizing to some. Overworked, it's got a lot going on, or some of the things I heard from other observers, but I'll leave that for you to decide. One thing I do not like is the door handles. Opening the LYRIQ is a 2-step process. It's too much. You press the button, and then you have to pull it open. 2 places. No. Same for the back door, only you have to slide your hand inside the door to pull it open. If If a kid is trying to get into the back and someone accidentally slams against the door, that's going to be a problem. On the positive safety side, the LYRIQ is chock full of standard driver safety features, including adaptive cruise control, rear cross traffic braking, front pedestrian braking, and blind zone steering alert.
So, does the LYRIQ live up to the Cadillac badge? I think in a lot of ways, the answer is yes. As far as exterior styling, I personally think it's beautiful. It's very concept-like and very future-forward. I think it comes standard with a ton of tech and great safety features, which, let's face it, it's an EV that's kind of the cost of entry at this point. I love the interior design. The only place that I have a little bit of difficulty is with the fit and finish, but again, this is your car, so if you like it, that's really all that matters. If you do want to buy the car, you're gonna have to wait a little while. The 2023s are all sold out, so you're gonna have to wait until 2024.